Hello, I am Juan-Juan, your system instructor, and today we will be talking about an important topic for the health of our planet, sustainability. In this video, we will cover basic sustainability topics such as sustainability definitions, sustainability goals, and sustainability actions. And in future videos, we will discuss each topic in more detail.
Juan-Juan, before we start, can I ask you a question?
Sí.
You were always working in quality, traveling, making videos, and now working in sustainability. Do you have time for any other hobbies?
Oh, sí, I have a lot of hobbies, such as photography, calligraphy, history, music, and movies. But my favorite hobby is to scare people.
Interesting. How do you scare people, Juan-Juan?
Well, Mimi, I have a scare face, a scary sound, and a scary move.
Can you show me?
Okay, here we go. This is my scary face. Whoa. This is my scary sound.
I see, but what about your scary move?
Well, my scary move is when I tell people, I am going to move to your street and be your neighbor. Anyhow, let's talk about sustainability. Welcome back. In recent years, the word sustainability and sustainable have been used everywhere. Chances are you have heard phrases like sustainable plastics, sustainable farming, sustainable products, and sustainable housing, just to name a few.
Juan-Juan, but what exactly is sustainability?
Oh, good question, Mimi. To understand what sustainability is, we should separate the topic in sections such as sustainability definitions, sustainability goals, sustainability initiatives, and sustainability actions, and analyze them one by one.
Good idea, Juan-Juan. Let's start with some sustainability definitions.
Okay, Mimi. The first definition about sustainability was established in 1987 by the United Nations Brundtland Commission as follows. Sustainable development is development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. This definition, like many other things from the 80s, was good at the moment, but is no longer accepted universally. And don't get me wrong, the 80s is still my favorite era. By the way, nowadays, the United Nations has a permanent working group coordinating sustainability initiatives all over the world. Actually, in 162 countries, the Sustainable Development Group. Check it out when you have a chance. On the other hand, if you research dictionaries, you will find out that definitions of sustainability, sustainable, and sustain many times are treated as synonymous and describe it as capable or being sustained, or being a method of harvesting or using a resource so that the resource is not depleted or permanently damaged, or the property or being environmentally sustainable, just to name a few. A more current and accepted definition of sustainable development is also known as the 3 pillars of sustainability, where sustainability is achieved when balance is found between the environment needs, the social needs, and the economic needs of a region. And finally, if you work in manufacturing, like me, you need to include your suppliers as part of the sustainability efforts. So the areas to be evaluated against your sustainable initiatives are environment, labor and human rights, ethics, and sustainable procurement.
That was very informative, Juan-Juan. Could you please now explain what sustainability goals are?
Oh, sí, check this out. Sustainability goals, like any other goals, need to be SMART. In other words, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based. Unfortunately, many organizations and companies establish sustainable goals that are either not realistic, nor achievable, or cannot be measured. Let me give you some examples. The United Nations has established 17 Sustainable Development Goals, which are no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation and infrastructure, reduce inequality between and among countries, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, life on land, peace, justice, and strong institutions, and partnerships for the goals. If we take a closer look of each one of these goals, we will notice that although they are noble and with good intentions, they are not smart. Number 6, for example, clean water and sanitation, has a specific goal of ensure availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all, which is not time-based nor specific. We need to recognize that the UN has made advances and work all over the world in this goal, but only time will tell if it's achievable. Some companies also leave their sustainability goals too wide and non-specific. For example, General Motors mentions these in terms of their environmental action. We have ambitious climate goals and we are committed to achieving them. To reach out our goal of carbon neutrality in global products and operations by 2040, we will continue to prioritize creating a broad portfolio of EVs and enhancing the sustainability of our supply chain. We cannot do it alone, but we will lead based on our strengths. Oh my, oh my. So, GM is proposing to build more electric cars and push their suppliers. No, 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 no. This is not a good goal at all. Other goals are a little better. For example, Nestle, in relation to climate action, published that we aim to reduce our carbon footprint and achieve net zero by 2050 at the latest. That sounds better. And PepsiCo announced a goal to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by more than 40% by 2030 against a 2015 baseline. That seems to be more realistic. In conclusion, it is very important that your goals are smart and avoid the greenwashing, which only makes your organization to appear more eco-friendly than in reality. After all this, we need a break.
Excellent, Juan-Juan. Could you please now explain what sustainability initiatives and actions are?
Absolutely. Check this out. Sustainability initiatives and actions go hand in hand because here is where companies and organizations can really make an impact. Some examples of actions and initiatives to help the environment are: establish specific actions to reduce energy consumption and greenhouse gases emissions, reduce water consumption and recycle water, improve your manufacturing process to reduce material consumption and air pollution. Don't forget about your Six Sigma tools. Have specific procedures and policies for the disposition of materials, chemicals, and waste. Train your employees on energy conservation. Perform energy and carbon audits. Make equipment upgrades to improve energy efficiency and reduce noise. Recycle materials as much as possible and approve by your customer. Obtain, if possible, an ISO 14001 certification for your company, etc. Examples of policies to protect the labor and human rights may include prohibiting the use of child and forced labor for your company and your suppliers. Establish initiatives to promote diversity, equality, and inclusion in your organization. Have a company policy for human rights avoid discrimination and harassment, ensure a safe work environment and safe working conditions, train all of your employees on safety practices and handling of hazardous materials, etc. Examples of ethics initiatives may include establish anti-corruption and information security policies for your organization, train all of your employees to prevent corruption and bribery, establish codes of conduct, perform audits of control procedures, engage all of your employees in diversity programs, etc. And examples of sustainable procurement initiatives may include establish policies and procedures for sustainable procurement. Hold your suppliers accountable for the same standards established in your organization for anti-corruption, anti-bribery, and human rights. Be sure that your suppliers have policies prohibiting child and forced labor. Establish policies for conflict of minerals and responsible minerals. Conduct suppliers assessments, and risk analysis for your suppliers, etc. Remember, these are only some examples, and your organization must establish initiatives and actions that fit your company culture, your objectives, the size of your organization, and your budget. Well, that's it for this Sustainability Basics video. We will talk in more detail in the future. For now, it's time for the final thoughts. And these are my final thoughts. Sustainability goals, initiatives, and actions are very important to help keeping our planet healthy for generations to come. But be careful. It is very easy for companies not to carry their goals and initiatives all the way to the end.
Juan-Juan, could you give us an example?
See, Mimi. For example, companies that produce bottled water have announced goals to use 100% recycled materials for their bottles and to be net zero. I will explain in another video what net zero means by 2050. But here is the problem. In the US alone, and according to independent studies, every year 29 billion of water bottles are consumed and only 12% of those bottles are recycled, which means that every year 25 billion of empty bottles end up in landfills or in the ocean.
Why are only 12% of the bottles recycled?
Because the infrastructure for recycling materials is not adequate. There are not enough recycling plants nor the structure to support them.
But why?
Because, unfortunately, Mimi, recycling plants are not a lucrative business, so the big companies don't invest in recycling plants. And don't get me wrong, they make investments in materials development, protection of water sources, and reforestation, but not in recycling facilities. And that is where they're failing short. I think they keep protecting the company earnings more than the planet. So at the end, having a goal for using 100% of recycled materials is not achievable for now. And we need more recycling plants in order to achieve this goal in the future. And this problem is also true for other recyclable materials such as paper and glass.
But what can we do?
We need to keep doing our part, Mimi. We need to keep recycling at home, reduce our consumption of electricity, turn off your lights when you don't need them, change your bulbs to LEDs, use your car only when needed, even if it is electric, and support local or international initiatives aiming to really help the environment. And please do not pollute the planet.
Juan-Juan, before we leave, can I ask you something else?
Sí.
Do you really do your part in sustainability?
Oh, sí. For example, I save a lot of water.
How?
Well, I shower only on Saturdays, even if I don't need it.
Oh boy, do you really recycle?
Oh, sí. I recycle all of my jugs. Well, I also recycle my bottles of water, and the bottles of cerveza, and the bottles of tequila, and the...
I got it, Juan-Juan. Do you do anything to reduce your carbon footprint?
Oh, sí. I love music, and I play the only instrument that has zero carbon emissions.
Which instrument is that?
The air guitar!
Oh my, do you at least like the wind turbines that generate electricity?
Oh, sí. I am a big fan. Well, that's it for today. See you next time. And until then, Take care of yourself and each other. Mimi, do you know why the guacamole went to the doctor?
Why?
Because it was feeling green.